Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Avayo Makata. Today we will see modular programming. In this topic, basically, it includes three learning objectives. The first one is define modular programming and state advantage of functions. The second learning objective is identify the three components of a C++ function declaration, function definition, and function call. The last one is write and execute a C++ program using a user-defined function. So what is modular programming? Modular programming breaking down the design of a program into individual components or modules that can be programmed and tested individually. And procedures of common functionality are grouped together to separate modules. So modules can be written and tested separately, and it reduces the length of program. Modules in C++, also known as functions. A function is a block of code which only runs when it is called. It is a sub-program that can act on data and return a value. C++ functions generally follows the three steps or three rules. The first one is every function must have a name. Function names are assigned by the programmers or user or depending on the programmer, and they must begin with a letter followed by letters, numbers, and underscore characters. The main advantage of functions: function reusability, for code reusability, modularity, it improves readability, and easy for debugging, as well as it reduces the complexity of our code. The following three components are able to make use of functions in a program. The first one is function declaration, function definition, and function call or invocation. Let us see each one by one. Function declaration, or declaring a function, is an interface of a function, also known as prototype, specifically how it may be used. It consists of three entities such as function return type. By default in our function, the default return type is int or integer, since it is a keyword, and the function name, as well as number of parameters, or what we call it function parameters. The syntax of function declarations looks: first we have a return type, then function name, and number of parameters exist inside the bracket. Example: long area, int length, int width. Here long is the data type of our function name, area, and inside our function we have two parameters or arguments, we call it int length and int width. The second component of function is defining a function. The definition tells the compiler how the function works. A function definition consists two parts: function header and its body. Always the body part is existed inside our bracket. Here the syntax: return type, we have function name, parameter declarations, and we open bracket. Declaration and statements, those are, we call it function or the body of our function. The header part is the first one: return type, function name, and parameters. Example: long area, long L, long W. Return L times width. Return L times width is the body part of our function. Note that inside a function, impossible to use nested functions, or impossible to declare another functions in C++. The last one, or the last component of function, is calling the function. To execute codes of the function body, the user defined functions should be invoked or called. Calling a function means making the interaction of the function to be executed. A function call consists of function name followed by operator parenthesis and 0 or more comma separated arguments in the parentheses, and the third one is the number and type of arguments should be the same as function parameters. When the function call is executed, the arguments are first evaluated, then their resulting values are assigned to the corresponding parameters, and the function body is then executed. Finally, return value is passed to the caller. So generally, the syntax looks: first we have function name and parameter lists exist. Here it is the sample example for functions in C++. First we have function declaration. Outside the main function, we declare our function with function name addition, and inside the function we have two parameters, int a and int b. Then outside the main functions, we define our function here: int add, int a, int b, then we open brackets, return a plus b. This one is the function definition. Here also we have a function call. To make it more easy, it is better to see in code blocks. Let us see together in the code block. First we open code block. The code blocks looks like this. First we have to write the skeleton of our C++. Here we have a header, include input output streams or IO stream, and using namespace standards, and the main functions started from here. This one is the main function. Since in C++ without the main function nothing code is executed, just like what you call it main method in Java. So outside the main function we declare function name add. Then inside our function we declare variables: int a, int b. Always in function declaration it ends with semicolon. This one is function declaration. This one is function declaration. Outside the main function, here we have to implement the declared function int. How we implement int add, or we define the function int a, int b. Then always in function definition we open bracket at the end, we must close the bracket. Sorry for that. Here the main function must be closed before our declared function or our defined functions. Then inside them return what? A plus b. Then here we define a function. This one is function definition. This one is function definition, and we call our function inside the main functions. Function call always exists put it inside the main function. So how we call? Add, then 5,7. This one is the exact value. Always function call in this with semicolons. Then cout inside the double quotation, a plus b is equals to, then we call it here add 5,7 semicolon. Now let us build and run our codes. It must come 12. A plus b is equals to 12. Have you see? A plus b is equals to 12. And also we can possible to avoid function declaration. Without using function declaration, we can easily define our functions. If we comment this, no errors, since the function definition is existed. Let us debug, run and build these codes. Nothing add int add we have to put function definition at the header part. First we cut this one, and here we put function definition. Now nothing error exists, it is the same. So we can possible to remove function declaration without declaring the function. We can easily use function definition and function call. Thank you for your attention. See you next. Goodbye.